It is hilarious watching liberal Canadians question why young men are voting conservative more and more frequently. The divergence between men under 30 and women under 30 is shocking in Canada. Women have veered hard left, men have veered hard right. And if you know anybody who's a teacher in Canada, there's absolutely no doubt as to why this is. Our schools have become indoctrination clinics. It's crazy. The young children, from grade 4, grade 5, you're taught about trans people removing genitals, the fact that there are hundreds of different sexes. You see BLM posters all over the place. You see Indigenous flags all over the place. I cannot believe the number of Canadians who cannot see the amount of sheer propaganda. I mean, Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot would be jealous of our classrooms. I know several teachers, and my jaw has legitimately dropped at the amount of propaganda that in Canada is now passed off as getting an education. I've seen presentations going to grade 5 children talking about trans procedures and hormones. This is disturbing. This is the type of stuff that no young child wants to learn about. It's indoctrination. It's not education. And that's why men are veering hard right. Because if you tell a massive swath of people that they are oppressors, and when you read into the woke ideology, they have this oppressor dichotomy where they wash away all of the incredible inventions, the fact that essentially everything that you use in your day-to-day life was created by Western man, and they paint the idea that 10% of the population, these white males worldwide, are somehow history's big evil boogeyman, which is absolutely hilarious. History has been an ongoing set of wars and brutality amongst all groups and tribes. To try to single out white men as a unique, malevolent, evil figure in history is absolutely laughable, except the fact that these woke ideologues apparently really believe it. I guess to be fair, they believe that a man can become a woman and a woman can become a man. So they're not all that hard to convince. But when you think to yourself, why is it that men are becoming more and more conservative? If you send a massive swath of your population the message that you are evil, you are bad, you are a historical oppressor, you need to leave your privilege at the door, and all these oppressed groups need to be put before you, which is what we see in Canada on steroids. I would argue we are the wokest country in the Western world, and that's really saying something. If you tell them that, how can you possibly act surprised when they say they are not going to support your ideology? What exactly were you expecting when you tell men that toxic masculinity is so weak? You don't play up any of the great things about masculinity, anything about courage, anything about virtue, anything about leadership, anything about bravery. You toss all the positive aspects of masculinity out and you laser focus on so-called toxic masculinity. Do I see any discussion in Canada about toxic femininity, which certainly exists? Have you ever dealt with gossip and innuendo and behind your back BS? You never hear about toxic femininity. Now, does toxic masculinity exist? Sure, absolutely. But to act as though males, in particular white males, are the only ones who ever act poorly, and these so-called oppressed groups are virtuous, regardless of what they do, is the exact opposite of the message that we should be sending our children. The message that we should be sending children is you will be judged not based on your DNA, not based on your genetics, not based on all these predispositions that you had no control over. But instead of that, you're going to be judged on who you are, the content of your character. A meritocracy, that's what made Canada such a great country, was the fact that people were judged as individuals. Then this, for the past 12 or so years, might be longer than that, this woke insanity has come in, which says the exact opposite of that. It says you will not be judged based on your actions, based on the type of human being you are, but rather than that, you'll be judged based on your skin color, your sexuality. If you are the correct skin color, the correct sexuality, the correct whatever it may be, then you are judged as a historically oppressed person, and therefore you are in the right. You have a right to certain things because of this story, this way of seeing the world. Whereas if you're born with certain attributes, particularly if you are a white man, it doesn't matter what you do. Go to the back of the line. There is inherently something bad about who you are. And of course, this type of a mindset, this way of seeing the world, is what has led to all the world's great atrocities. The idea that rather than judging the individual by themselves for who they are, no, we are going to judge you as an entire group because you have these certain characteristics that makes you bad or good. That type of thinking, that type of grouping people together like that has led to every single atrocity that we've ever seen. And now the woke in Canada, who like to put on this veneer of being virtuous and empathetic, that is the exact to a T game that they are playing. They're saying if you belong to certain groups, you are inherently virtuous. You are inherently a good person. If you belong to other groups, you are inherently bad. You are a historic oppressor. You need to be treated a certain way. And if Canadians don't open their eyes to this and don't open their eyes to this soon, this is going to lead to some nasty results. Because anytime you get this identitarian kind of grouping of people, it always ends in violence. And we're already seeing in Canada things like Bill C-8, Bill C-9, shutting opponents of the government down, losing our free speech, which is the fundamental bedrock pillar of Western civilization. We need to wake up, and we need to wake up quick. Grouping people into different areas and saying you're the good ones, you're the bad ones, is literally every historical atrocity summed up. We need to lose this mindset in Canada and lose this mindset yesterday. It's about who you are as an individual, and what you do as an individual does not matter what group that you're from. Because I can tell you right now, if the left keeps playing these identity politics, men are just going to continue to lurch further and further to the right. And you know what? Guess what? If you tell people for the entirety of their life they're evil, they're bad, they're wrongdoers, you know what? Eventually they're going to go, screw it. These people have been telling me I'm an evil person there this entire time. And you're going to get a backlash of white identity politics that you have been pressing for so long. If you keep pressing this message, the white man is bad, these historically oppressed groups are good, you are going to see such a massive backlash in Canada, you will have no idea what hit you. So I would suggest that we get the indoctrination out of our schools, start actually educating people with skills, rather than talking to them about sexuality at an extremely young age, or else it is going to continue to get worse and worse and worse in this country. Please like, share, subscribe, join, become a member, donate, grab some gear. Really appreciate everybody who supports. Talk to you soon.